Ladies and gentlemen, it is June 8th, Sunday morning. Per usual, had my Sunday morning client. It is currently about to be 7:30 a.m. I do train her around 6 a.m. so gotta get up early on Sundays, usually Sundays and Saturdays usually for her. But here, just finishing up, about to leave. I might as well turn this thing on. We'll get a little cold start, a little warm start. Not too bad inside. The cabin noise is, depending on how high the RPMs are, it can get a little bad. I just had my camera right on my face, sorry about that. But yeah, it could get a little rowdy inside, even with the windows up once you're at the higher RPMs. But you know, those that know about Mustangs and all that don't really, it's not much of a big deal, you know. You gotta love it. But yeah, just finished up the client. Not too much else to say. Really gonna just go over a topic today per usual. Once again, if you guys have a specific topic you guys want me to go over, let me know. Let me know in the comments or DM me. Either or, but today I just wanted to go over something simple, something straightforward, simple, sweet, hopefully short once again. But today it is, how often should you change your training routine? This is something that it can get a little overcomplicated in some ways, especially when you're starting off or you're in that phase where you want to do everything absolutely perfect and you want to optimize this, optimize that to the best of your ability. Just coming back to our last video, making mistakes is a huge part of your progress and will be a huge part of your progress from now to forever, honestly. So even if you're not optimizing 100% everything, it's fine. You're doing okay. Like, you're learning, that's the main thing. So how often should you change your training routine? In my opinion, you want to stick to a training routine for at least 3 months, meaning a set like exercises, set rep ranges, sets, and meaning your whole training volume. Keep it consistent. Obviously, it being progressive, but in terms of the exercises, keep those consistent. So 3 months. That's at the point. That's the point where you kind of realize, like, are these exercises really working for me, or am I connecting with them, or am I constantly being injured, or do I even feel anything? Am I even progressing? Should I change something? At that point, at the 3-month mark, that's when you should realize that, honestly, realistically. So you should be doing your due diligence and keeping an eye on that. So that's really important. But in my opinion, I like to stick to a routine as long as you possibly can, even if it's for a year or years. If there are some exercises that you just love doing and you connect with so well, and they're just overall enjoyable, and you're progressing, most importantly, then why are you changing them? Why would you change them? Once again, this comes back to the idea that just because people tell you online, or friends or family tell you, you should be changing up your exercises because muscle confusion or whatever that is. Keep in mind that you're never going to progress or adapt to certain exercises or a certain stimulus until you actually stick to that routine for a set period of time. So instead of focusing on how long should I change up my training routine, focus on what am I doing good, what works for me currently, and what doesn't work for me, and I'm going to adjust accordingly, slowly over time. And once you find that sweet spot, that's when you'll see you'll just kind of block off those dumb questions, those dumb voices in your head, and just focus in on your training and your nutrition, and you're just progressing overall. But yeah. And I did mention muscle confusion, pretty much just to give a little bit of context. It's just this, let's just say it's like a unspoken concept. It's not necessarily 100% true or proven, but it can be in some ways. So I'll explain. So muscle confusion pretty much states that you should be confusing your muscles by changing up your exercises, pretty periodically. So what I like to do is, and to some extent that could be true, which is what we were talking about. If something's not working for you, then you should be changing up your exercises and finding what works for you. But once again, you got to take it with a grain of salt, because you have to do it at a pace. You can't do it every week, every day, even every month. Take it at a pace, a quarter year at a time. That's why I always like 3 months, and then you see from there. So muscle confusion can be beneficial in some ways, because it can be useful. It can be mentally, pleasing in some ways. To take a break on some exercises that maybe you've plateaued on, meaning you've stopped progressing on. You could take a break on them and then move on to something else, and maybe your muscles will react even better than before, and then later on you can go back to those original exercises. There's so much that you can do, but the ultimate answer is just do what works for you and do what you enjoy and allows you to progress. No one is going to tell you what you should be doing, nor shouldn't they tell you, because everyone is different, once again. So always remember that. And once again, hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and let me know in the comments if there's anything at all that you guys have in mind for me to make a video on. But yeah, one last thing, if you guys could go and follow my social media pages, really just TikTok and Instagram, that'll be greatly appreciated. Have a great day.